individually for this season, they deserve it. And if you're going to bring the team accomplishment argument, as I said in that first video that I made about Messi winning his 8th Ballon d'Or, Haaland just won the treble. The last English team to win the treble was United in 1999. So even in terms of a team, who really should have won the Ballon d'Or? Without wasting any more time, guys, let's get straight into it. Let's get straight into the business.
Messi is going to win the Ballon d'Or. He was the best player in the World Cup. He won the World Cup. And both of those things are absolutely essential if you want to win the Ballon d'Or. But what else is essential to win the Ballon d'Or?
Team performance, I think that would help. If you're talking about an individual trophy, as it should be, then this whole Argentina won the World Cup, etc., shouldn't really be what decides it. His performance for Argentina should ultimately be what pushes him over the edge, but not team accomplishments, individual performance, and that's why I think personally Haaland deserves it. But I'll let him cook. I'll let him cook.
I discovered a horrifying conspiracy which threatens to consume us all against one player who never wins anything. But who should win the Ballon d'Or if it wasn't Messi? And how do you win a Ballon d'Or? Well, to win a Ballon d'Or, what you have to do is be voted for by some journalists. And as it says here in The Athletic, those journalists are one member of the media from the top 100 countries in FIFA's world ranking for the men's award and the top 50 countries for the women's award. So the writers think Messi's pretty good, huh? Well, let me tell you this. Since 2006, when Messi was first nominated for the Ballon d'Or, he has been either first or second every single year, except for 2 years. Once in 2018.
Every single year. Every single year. That just goes to speak to the dominance of the man, and we just have to give Messi a round of applause. Because I don't want this video to turn into a Messi hate campaign. I don't want these videos to turn into a Messi hate campaign, because that's the last thing I want to do. We all know, at least I would hope that we all know that Messi is the greatest football player of all time. It's just that this particular season, Haaland had the better individual season, and that should go for the Ballon d'Or. But anyways, yeah, it's first or second for what? 12 years, something like that is insane. 14 years?
Because he was quite good in the World Cup, undeservedly so, because Messi was terrible that year. He only scored 51 goals and had 26 assists in 54 games for club and country. That was so awful. It makes me...
For example, that year, the Ballon d'Or should have gone to Messi. And there's always, I genuinely believe that in 2018, the Ballon d'Or should have gone to Messi. There's this argument between Modric and Ronaldo, but realistically, it should have gone to Messi. But hey, again, we're seeing how the Ballon d'Or just it isn't true for what it stands for, because it should be an individual trophy, but usually goes to the best player and the best team, which I guess.
Mad, because that year he also only won the European Golden Shoe and the Copa del Rey and La Liga. Easy, all those. Yeah. And then he took Argentina.
I like this guy. I like this guy.
World Cup winners, France. Therefore, Messi was terrible that year and didn't deserve to be highlighted by the football writers. Meanwhile, Ronaldo, who did not die, won the Champions League, and that's why he was second, and third was Antoine Griezmann, who won the World Cup, a very important thing. Messi was fifth that year. So what we learned from that is that winning or being the star of a major competition like the Champions League or the World Cup is how you win a Ballon d'Or. But anyway,
I've been saying this for ages. The Ballon d'Or, it should be an individual trophy. It isn't. It's a trophy based on team accomplishments. And that's why a lot of people, when they want to talk about who's the best player, they just start bringing up Ballon d'Ors and start comparing Ballon d'Ors. To me, that's just wrong. Look at, for example, Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry is one of the best strikers of all time, one of the best football players of all time. But a lot of people, a lot of casuals don't have Thierry Henry that high because he never won a Ballon d'Or. So a Ballon d'Or, although I still like to give the Ballon d'Ors credit, because, you know, the players it usually gives to are some of the best players that season. It's just the way they rank it's not true to what it stands for. Again,
missing out in the top three that year seemed to spark something inside Messi, and he came back and won it the next year. And then there was COVID, which robbed Robert Lewandowski of his Ballon d'Or that he always wanted to get and didn't. Sorry, Robert. And then the year after that, Messi won it once more. And then in 2022, Messi was not even nominated for the first time since 2006. And again, deservedly so, he was terrible. All he did that year was score 35 goals and have 30 assists in 51 appearances while moving from one team in disastrous financial straits to another, who won the league that year. Pathetic, pathetic. However, as we all
Yeah, this guy's funny.
He'll win his 8th Ballon d'Or in the next ceremony that happens, because he was outstanding this entire year. He won the World Cup for Argentina almost on his own. He scored all the goals. He was very, very exciting. He's going to win it, but he's already got 7. This is boring now. Give it to someone else. But who? But let's look at what sort of players.
But that's the thing. I don't think it should go to someone else because it's boring. It should go to someone else because generally, in terms of individual performance, Haaland deserves it. If you compare these two players individually for this season, they deserve it. And if you're going to bring the team accomplishment argument, as I said in that first video that I made about Messi winning his 8th Ballon d'Or, Haaland just won the treble. The last English team to win the treble was United in 1999. So even in terms of team accomplishments, Haaland has outdone himself.
Actually, when we do that, what we notice are a few things. So first of all, if you're a goalkeeper, you have very little chance of winning. Lev Yashin is the only goalkeeper to have won the Ballon d'Or. If you're a goalkeeper, don't try and win the Ballon d'Or. Defenders have quite a hard time doing it too. Fabio Cannavaro is a captain of a World Cup winning team. That's probably why he's got in here. Beckenbauer, multi-positional, can play as a sweeper, carries the ball out, lots of long balls, beautiful player. Matthias Sammer was a defensive midfielder, but he won it in '96 when he mostly, I think, converted to be more of a sweeper. This position you don't have anymore because of the offside rule. Lothar Matthäus, box-to-box midfielder, also played as a sweeper. So multi-positional things come in here as well. A bit of a captain, kind of leader guy. Mazo Pust is a guy who played for Czechoslovakia back in the day before playing Czech Republic. He's box-to-box as well. So these kind of things help. So in summary, you can win it if you're a battler or a leader, as long as you play a few different positions and do some...
Back in the day. Let's add that asterisk. Again, good point. Excellent research, by the way. Back in the day.
Lovely stuff with the ball. It's long, lovely passes, you see. But the real way you win may be demonstrated by this board. As you can see, if you are a creative... That's
stuff. Raw. This is like one of them Jamie high roller graphics. That's crazy. Wow.
Assists and creative things happen. Basically, if you're watching on the TV and you go, oh, that kind of noise, like you're watching fireworks. Ooh, ah, oh.
It's because it's a beautiful game. That's why we value offensive players more, because it's a beautiful game. And this is why I said a few weeks ago that the GOAT debate is really a debate on who's a better goal scorer. It's not about who's the best football player. It's about who's the better goal scorer. And the Ballon d'Or kind of feeds into that. It's about who had the best team accomplishments. And then, you know, sometimes they give it to a defender or midfielder, but for the most of the time, it goes to who scored the most goal or whatever, something like that. It's why I said, like, the way we compare football is just wrong. That's why these conversations need to happen. This is why videos like this need to happen, so that we can have proper conversations on who should have won or who really deserved to win said trophy.
That's actually the melody of all fireworks displays if you go and watch them. This is what you get. Lots of creative players. Messi's over here, look. Right winger can play midfield, forward over here. You can play midfield as well. But all these guys are like number 10s. You can play wide. Cruyff is the only real left-sided forward you've got here. Maybe Ronaldo can put in as well. But the rest of them are all mostly central forwards, goal scorers, things like this. Like Gerd Müller, just a goal scorer. That's what you've got. And you've got Brazilian Ronaldo here. Michael Owen, just a goal scorer. That's what you've got. So if you're a goal scorer, or a creative attacking player who makes you look like you're watching fireworks when you're watching football, that's how you win a Ballon d'Or.
Again, pausing for a second, playing devil's advocate for a second, I mean, it makes sense for it to go to that player. How do you win a football game? You win a football game by outscoring the other team. So it kind of makes sense that the offensive players are kind of valued a little bit more. Let's not try and act like it's a horrible thing. It's just that, again, football is more than just scoring goals.
Also helps if you play for one of Real Madrid or Barcelona. If you look at this is Real Madrid's players, Cannavaro. So not only was he a captain of a World Cup winning team, and he's a defender, but he's also Real Madrid. So he's got lots of factors in there that helped him get nominated and to win. And you've got Modric, creative player, Zidane, Kaká, Cristiano Ronaldo, Brazilian, Di Stefano, Benzema, Figo, and Copa. So all these guys won the Ballon d'Or while playing for Real Madrid. That definitely helps. Barcelona are tied on the number of Ballons d'Or won, but they have fewer players. They have Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Cruyff, Stoichkov, Luis Suarez, not that one, and Lionel Messi, who's basically won all of them. He won 4 in a row once. We already know how good he is. But basically, it really helps if you play for Real Madrid or just the best team in Europe or the best team in their domestic league. That's what really helps. And so that means
Team accomplishment, as we said.
that the next winner of it is probably definitely going to be Jude Bellingham. Here he goes, playing now for Real Madrid. Now think of all the things Bellingham has. He's kind of a battler, leader, multi-positional player, midfield, forward. He's playing up front basically for Real Madrid this season. He also does all of the goals, so he's very exciting to watch. Makes you go, oh, and he creates all the chances. But he also plays for
Great
Real
point.
Madrid. And so
Great
if he wins
point.
the European Cup or La Liga or ends up winning the Euros with England next summer, then he will probably be the Ballon d'Or winner. It's all the criteria. It's a wise career move. But if not Bellingham, how about Erling Haaland, the elite goal scorer in the world? Now he scores all the goals, so he has a chance, but the most recent example of someone who's won that is Robert Lewandowski, who didn't actually win.
Yeah. And we'll talk about Haaland a little bit more, but yeah, Haaland's definitely one to talk about.
Win it because of COVID. He would have won it that year, we can assume. So Haaland, although he's very exciting to watch, doesn't do the things. He's only he's one positional, mono positional. He only plays up front as a striker. Doesn't drop into. He only plays up front as a striker. Doesn't drop in to help out. And we know that being multi-positional definitely helps. You look at Messi, all those players who've won it, they can play any number of positions. That really helps. And he plays for Man City, who are European champions, so maybe that does come into factor. But basically, Haaland doesn't do skills, so get rid of him. How about Mbappe? Now Mbappe does all the things that light up a TV.
Again, Mbappe is a perfect candidate to win the Ballon d'Or if he had gone for Real Madrid. If Mbappe had gone for Real Madrid, this is why that Real Madrid move was so important, and why we highlighted in this channel that in that same summer when Haaland went to Man City, it was the perfect opportunity for Mbappe to go to Real Madrid. It's probably going to happen this summer again, but last season was probably the best opportunity for Mbappe to do that. Because we see what Haaland goes on to do. I generally believe that Mbappe could have done something similar. Maybe not trying to downplay what Haaland did, but something similar, or at least him and Vini would have been able to do something special with Benzema in the team as well, plus the Champions League, plus the La Liga. Mbappe made a mistake by staying at PSG.
Or a stadium. He's exciting, plays left, forward,
Exactly.
Right, do all of it, so he's multi-positional. Doesn't play for Real Madrid yet. If he maybe inevitably does, then that's the big chance for him to win the Ballon d'Or. You have to play for Real Madrid or Barcelona, really, or just the best team in Europe to possibly win this. But another player who's
Team accomplishment.
awards we don't really think about that much is Antoine Griezmann. He's not that exciting, or is he? He scores lots of goals, provides lots of assists, not as many as others. He does shoot above his XG, which helps. But what you get from Griezmann is a hard-working player who is fundamental to his team being France, who won the World Cup. So he's just about there, but doesn't quite have that attacking excitement that seems to get him over the edge to win against someone like Messi, who is the best player ever. So these are all the things that we know will guarantee you a nomination or a Ballon d'Or win. Being multi-positional, that definitely helps, but mostly being a forward, like a winger or someone exciting up front. You got to have ideally lots of skill and great technique. You have to score lots of goals and assists, do things which are exciting to the crowd, but then also decide games. And you really...
Again, great research he did, but you can break it down to even more simpler terms in my opinion. One, if you're looking at that specific football year, your team accomplishments and your individual output. That's my Ballon d'Or formula. Similar to what he said, it's just way more stripped down, way more basic, and I think it kind of works in a similar way. How many, and when it comes to individual output, it just really comes down to goals and assists. Yes, you can be, exciting and etc., but really what they care about is goals and assists. And then finally, how well your team performs. That's pretty much the Ballon d'Or formula and how these guys judge players. I'm not saying it's the right way to do it. It's just what I've seen after doing my own research and etc. Again, once we hit around 10,000 subscribers, I'll give you my football pyramid, and then I'll try and explain how I came up with that. But the Ballon d'Or formula, in its most basic, stripped back way, team accomplishments, individual output.
Probably have to play for one of Barcelona or Real Madrid, and you have to win a huge tournament. So if you win the European Championship, that helps, or the World Cup, or the European Champions League, all things that are massive tournaments. These things help you win a Ballon d'Or. So a player who can do all these things and has done all these things, who could it be? Well, Let's
Bruyne.
go and bring on Kevin De Bruyne.
So I knew it was De Bruyne. I knew it was De Bruyne because especially De Bruyne. De Bruyne has finished third in 2 different occasions, I believe so. Yeah, I think he has. So yeah, I knew I was gonna say De Bruyne. Especially this year, I had De Bruyne in my top 5.
He won the Champions League, the Premier League and the FA Cup last season. He was the driving force behind Man City's actual play. Haaland scored all the goals, sure, but this guy does everything. His set-piece delivery is unbelievable. He takes crosses from over here. He does all these things in different parts of the pitch. He plays as a forward, he plays as a midfielder, plays as a winger at times, often in the same game at the same time. He does everything. Why doesn't Kevin De Bruyne get the love of all the football writers? Why isn't he considered one of the...
I told you, goals and assists. De Bruyne does get a lot of assists, but I said goals and assists. Goals and assists. It has to be both, or you won't win it. This is pretty much how it goes.
the very best players in the world.
It's part of the reason why Iniesta and Xavi would never able to win it. Because you have Ronaldo and Messi. Sure, you can argue they're better players. Sure, you can argue Iniesta and Xavi had better seasons. But those two guys never had the same amounts of goals and assists as Ronaldo and Messi. And for a casual fan, that's always going to be more appealing.
He sort of is. We sort of know he is. Plays for Belgium, not very exciting. They tend to underperform. Maybe that's a big reason for it. And so I did a lot of research to try and find out why De Bruyne is not really being considered for this award. I scoured the internet. I read every book that has ever been written. And then what I found was the Ballon d'Or victor is decided by 100 journalists from FIFA's 100 top-ranked member nations. But they don't like De Bruyne, who was the head of this conspiracy, this evil group consortium, keeping him down. But the conspiracy goes even deeper. Did you know that Kevin De Bruyne has never even won the Premier League Player of the Month award?
Yeah.
Sure, he's won 2 PFA Player of the Year awards. That's voted by fellow players, not football writers. And in fact, the FWA, the Football Writers Association, has never given him the award of Best Player of the Year in the Premier League. So why don't football writers like Kevin De Bruyne? But then I realised something even more shocking. We haven't even covered Kevin De Bruyne once on Tifo IRL.
Shot in the foot. Shot in the foot. Yeah, we have in this channel, but shot in the foot. Shot in the foot. At least he's honest. At least he's honest. I like that.
I'm the conspiracy behind this. Isn't that weird though? We haven't covered Kevin De Bruyne even once, really, in any of these tactic boards videos that we do. Why is that? He's a really great player who does things, but we don't.
Amazing player.
Does he need
amazing player
to make us think about him, about all these exciting things he does? Or is it because Messi is just so good that keeps him down and no one bothers thinking about it? Or because he need to play for Barcelona or Real Madrid? What's missing for De Bruyne? Maybe it's because he's so consistent.
I've said it. I'll also make my midfielders tier list, and I've said if Zidane, Iniesta, Xavi, Modric are in tier 1, De Bruyne is at least in tier 2. I've said this before. I do not underrate my boy Kevin De Bruyne. Quite the opposite. I also think he's the greatest midfielder in Premier League history. But that's just me and Kevin De Bruyne.
Consistently good that we kind of forget how good he is. In the same way that Messi missed out on nominations for 2 years when he scored more goals than had ever been invented on Earth or the moon. I mean, there was a year where he scored 35 and 30 assists and didn't even get nominated for the award in the entire world. And he moved from Barcelona to PSG basically overnight. So you forget how good Messi is, even though he is the best that's ever been. And De Bruyne is probably one of the best players in Europe that we've ever had, but we don't think of him as that because he's so consistently good. You can even see it in data how good De Bruyne is. Because since 2016-17 when he joined the Premier League, he has produced more open play chances. Not even.
Since that 2014-15 season with Salzburg. Since that year when Salzburg will finish second, I believe. Since that season Wolfsburg finished second, the De Bruyne's numbers have been stupid. Stupid since then.
Than any other player. He has more assists than any other player by miles. He is one of the most exciting players to watch. He drives things. Maybe he's not, you know, it's not sexy skills.
Athleticism. He's not very athletic.
Things that are efficient and make you win games. He's a match winner. That's what De Bruyne is. He's not a beautiful YouTube highlights player. He sort of is sometimes. But you know what I mean? I don't know why I don't think of De Bruyne as being one of the best players in the world. When
Good point.
He really definitely is. And that is why, if I were to vote for the Ballon d'Or winner this year, I would vote for Lionel Messi. This will probably be the last time he ever wins it. This is the end of an era. Time will come for us all. It'll come for you. Age will get you, and you.
If you like this video, please.
Okay. I guess at the end, but yeah, in my opinion, I'll still give it to Mr. Haaland. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching it to the end. You're much appreciated. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, share. Do all those things to please help me grow this channel. And I'll see you guys soon.